All right, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's continue with our coverage, and it's time for a discussion of the night. Today is Money Monday. Keep that in mind, and I'm joined by amazing women who are making it easier for African women entrepreneurs to build resilient businesses across Africa. I'm joined by Desiree Jules Adam. I hope I'm not butchering your name. I'll give you a chance to just say that the way it should be said. And Sharon Cheruto, an alumni of at AWEC, that is African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative. Welcome to KUTV, ladies.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you for having us.
I hope I didn't butcher your name, so maybe you can just tell us who are you?
Exactly the way you said it. So Desiree Jules Adam, or just Des for short.
Tell us, what do you do at AWEC?
So I'm the Director for External Affairs at the African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative, or AWEC for short, or AWEC for short. And my role is mainly focused on communications for the organization, external communications and partnerships, and working with external stakeholders to support the program that we have.
Right, I'll give a chance to Sharon to just tell us something about what you do at AWEC.
Actually, first, my name is Sharon Cheruto, like you said. I run my own business. It's called Redefined Communications, and I joined AWEC as a fellow last year, and I just graduated this week. And my role is I'm an alumni. I'm a beneficiary of this program.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Des, maybe you could tell us, what is AWEC all about?
How much time do you have?
Much time.
So AWEC, they came together to support women entrepreneurs across Africa. They are the most underserved demographic across Africa when it comes to women entrepreneurs. And what they do is it's a leadership and business management capacity building program. We support them through knowledge, skills, networks, and access to finance at the end. So learning how to pitch your business so that you can access finance.
All right. What are some of these challenges that you have identified that led you to really just come up with this African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative?
So one of the biggest challenges we noticed was women entrepreneurs wanted more access to the networks that, sad to say, a lot of the men have access to. At the same time, these women are responsible for home chores, things that they're responsible for looking after their homes. So they can't just put their bags down, they can't just put their kids down and decide to up and go and look for a training program outside of their countries, which a lot of programs are served outside of the countries where they live. And so a lot of the times when they're looking to grow or scale their businesses, they feel like they lack the knowledge or the expertise to actually grow their businesses or make them or scale them. And AWEC noticed that was one of the biggest challenges, and so they decided to create a program that supports them fully. The other thing we like about AWEC, it's fully online, and we're able to, that means the women they don't have to drop everything at home. They can log in and jump online for some of the live sessions that we have, some of the course programming that we have. They can tune in wherever they are, from wherever they are across the globe, whether they're in Africa or in the diaspora.
All right, Sharon. Now, as Des said, we could assume that entrepreneurship space is, I would have put it, is impactful maybe and beneficial to the male side. Do you think women entrepreneurs in Africa are safe? Is this a space that they have safe enough for them?
I think this program opens the doors for African women to have access to business coaching, to peers who are on the same level. I benefited greatly by having a business mentor. Most of the time, all of these programs you have to pay for, and it's thousands of dollars for all of these programs. So when I found AWEC, it was really amazing to see that I could get the guidance to do customer segment, business model canvas, just to structure my business without having to pay for it. It's a really great program that gave us more access. So I think it has, is entrepreneurship safe? It's safe for like men. It's more safe for men. But women are also rising, and they're an untapped resourse, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but are there options for women entrepreneurs to jump right in and feel safe while at it?
So I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
One of the things I say about how AWEC was designed is they use the proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And I'm always insistent that it takes a village to actually raise an adolescent, it takes a village to raise a community, and it takes a village to raise a successful woman in business. And this is what AWEC has been able to do. They've designed an ecosystem online that allows you to feel safe. One of the things we love about coming into the program, we take 200 women every year. We select them out of applications, about more than 2,000 women that apply. And through that selection process, we're able to identify where people are on their business journey. So we have women who have been in business for 3 to 5 years. Some have been in business for 10 to 15. And we ensure that we try and ensure that we bring them together in a way that the ones that are more seasoned or mature are in the same group as the ones that are just up and coming, so that they can feed one another best practices, they can support one another along the way. But the beauty of it is not just, you don't just get the practical applied learning lessons in the live sessions. They have program advisors around them. They have mentors that are assigned to them. And then themselves as groups, they are assigned to peer groups that allow them the opportunity to discuss some of the challenges that they have at home. One of the things we know for sure is that within the intimate groups, they can share the vulnerabilities of being a woman in business. There are some challenges that they face that men wouldn't face. And so they can talk about them openly amongst their peers. And so I think that's the beauty of AWEC. As soon as you come in, there's no, you don't have to wait to feel like you're welcome. Everything is designed specifically for them.
Right, Sharon, you said you graduated last year. Tell us
Last week.
Last week. I'm sorry about that. So tell us, how do you guys choose these beneficiaries to an extent that they now have to go through these procedures at AWEC and become now graduates of this organization?
So I have to say that AWEC itself is a learning organization. We've had to learn over time who benefits most from the program. So over the years, so for example, year one, we opened it up to everybody because we wanted to help all these women across Africa. But we realized that not everybody would benefit from it based on where they were in business, like the stage of business that they were. So we're very specific. First of all, I have to say that we don't discriminate. Race, age, gender. When I say gender, I mean I need women who are happy to identify themselves as women in business, and religion. But the other thing we do is, as we select whom, the first thing we know, we want you to be from an African country originally, and you're either based on the continent or somewhere in the diaspora. That's first off. But the second thing is you have to have been in business for at least 2 years. The reason is because we know by the 2-year mark, you kind of already have an idea of what audience you're serving. Earlier than that, you're still trying to figure things out. So we found women in business who have at least been in business for 2 years benefit the most. And then women who have or are employing at least 2 people. And those are the ones that benefit the most from the program. And then on top of that, outside of that, it's women who have a business in any industry or sector. So we're industry or sector agnostic. But as long as you have a business that impacts the continent, then applications are open.
All right, but does AWEC seek to benefit those women in urban areas, or you include even those ones in rural areas?
So the way the program is designed, you have got to have reliable access to internet because it's 90% predominantly done online. And so the idea is we can't stop people from urban or rural areas from joining, just as long as you know that you've got a reliable access to internet. So we're open to it, but we found that more people in the urban areas join. The ones who do want to join from the rural areas are not always able to because of connectivity. But we would never block the application away from anyone who's outside of an urban area.
All right, Sharon, maybe tell us about your experience with AWEC.
It's been a fantastic and very intense year with AWEC. In the beginning, I thought, okay, we can manage. This is, we started with easy. And they warned us. They said, it's going to start out easy and then it's going to grow and you need to pay attention and do the assignments and everything. So I think my experience has been very, very amazing. It has helped me structure my business. The access to the mentor helped me open up and understand what my customer segment was, what am I targeting exactly, how am I going about it, and I learned that I was operating mostly from just having the vision, which is fantastic, but not really having the structure behind it written down, because writing it down is half the battle. So I think for me, the greatest benefit is being challenged by other women. I think meeting women from other African countries was one of my biggest highlights, because they championed me, they helped me, they kept me on my toes. So we always used each other as an accountability measure. And the program overall, you get what you put into it. So if you show up, you get the benefits of AWEC. So for me, I think my business has flourished. It has grown, actually. It has expanded in the last 1 year from being in the program, understanding and implementing the lessons from the program. So I think revenue-wise, I have increased in my business way more than the other years that I've operated. And I've been in operation since 2014. But by far, this is my most successful and profitable year was 2022. Wow. Yes. So I would say that would be my biggest benefit.
All right, but does AWEC also teach its students how to manage finances as much as it does how to grow their niche?
Okay, so there's a lot of topics that we go through. So it's a year-long program. And as soon as they come in, the first thing they actually learn is actually how to learn in the program. So that's the first thing we do through orientation the first month. And they go through things like time management, how to deal with a remote team, and then getting the benefits from how to get the most out of your mentor. And then throughout the program, we cover a lot of the business functions of a business. So we go through business modeling and strategy. We go through finance. We go through branding and marketing, sales. We also cover how to pitch your business, but also hiring a team and firing a team. But at the same time, one of the things around finance, which is one of the most difficult topics, it's not just finance. It's actually looking at your numbers square in the face. It's actually learning how numbers tell a story about your business, and then forecasting, learning how to forecast for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Finance is super important because we have to teach them that cash is king, or queen, should I say. But everything revolves around the number of structures that you have in the business. One of the things we see as they come into the program, we always interview them to find out what their number one challenge is. And usually 99% of the time, it's access to finance. But by the time they get mid-program, so 6 months down, they come back and say, we're actually glad we didn't get the finance that we're looking for, because I've realized, like she said, your processes might not be in place. I don't have the right team. This business model doesn't work. I may not be the right person to run this business. I shouldn't be running this business. Maybe I should shut it down. So there's a lot of, I always say, I feel like AWEC is almost like a magnifying glass on your business, or it's like a tumble dryer. It's literally unpacking all the things that you felt are the frameworks of your business, but perhaps you didn't have the right foundation for it. And AWEC unpacks that, whether you're in business for 2 years or 15 years. We found women who have been in business for so long that when they look back, they think, I actually had the wrong structure for my business. I need to start again. And that's absolutely fine, because we prefer you to then go back and come back with a better foundation.
Amazing, amazing. Sharon, how did you come to find out or learn about AWEC?
I was actually researching opportunities for African women business leaders. I was looking for either mentorship programs or accelerator programs. And so that's how I landed on AWEC and saw the application was actually live last year in January. And that's how I applied, just through research.
Right. How long does this learning session take? These semesters, let me call it semesters.
So out of the 12-month program, each month is divided into specific program activities. One of the things they do in a month is they go through a specific topic. So let's say it's business strategy. That entire month is going to be around business strategy. So first of all, they'll have a live session from an expert who works either in public or private sector. They come in and they teach them a specific topic, and then immediately after that they have to do an assignment, and the assignment is based on the live session. Straight after that they have what they call peer sessions. Peer sessions is that group of 200 have been put together with a group of 10. They've been separated into groups of 10, and those peer sessions are the intimate spaces where they can talk about one business strategy, but they can also talk about, hey, I'm struggling with this in my business around this strategy. And then they have sessions with their mentors to discuss business strategy. So each topic has full components every single month, and they go through it rigorously, and we're very specific on everything that they learn has got to be applied. So one of the jokes we have at AWEC is there is no fig one in your assignments. There is no example of a business. You are the business. Your business is the one that is in the middle. And so we treat it as a capstone. And so from month 1 till month 12, it's literally your business under a microscope.
All right. But what impact do you intend to make on the lives of women entrepreneurs?
It's wide. So I'll speak from a, from a technical perspective. AWEC's impact is measured through the surveys that we do pre-program, mid-program, and end of program. And during that time, it's the surveys that we give to the women to tell us how far they are on their business, and we measure based on specific metrics. I'm going to read because I don't want to miss this out. So there's 3 specific metrics. The first one is business performance. That's literally what she talked about, which is around employees, revenue, customers, and capital. This is important because it's tangible information. When they come in, they have a certain amount of employees. They have, let's say, 2 or 3, and when they leave, they might have 5 or 6. That's what we want the impact of the program to be. But at the same time, we want to ensure that they have increased revenue, they have increased customers, because then it tells us that the program is actually working. And then, very fortunate enough, 45% of our women who go through the program are able to raise capital by the end. So that's the first part, business performance. The second one is on skills development. Without the skills that they need, they can't move forward or they can't grow or scale. So some of the skills is around business skills, functional skills, and soft skills, which is a very important thing. Soft skills like having the confidence to face a business manager when you're doing your pitching, or being able to negotiate your prices higher than keeping them the same level. So those are the skills we look at. And then the third thing we look at is the network quality. So one of the challenges that women talk about when they come into the program is the lack of access to a mentor for free, or the lack of access to a like-minded community of women. This is what AWEC provides. And by the end of the program, we want to be sure that each one of these components or each one of these metrics we've hit and we've impacted you in that way.
So what do you foresee for AWEC in the next 10 years?
I don't know if I can talk about 10 years, but I can say our vision for the future is 2 strategy-fold. So the first one is we want to deepen impact with the alumni. So as Sharon and cohort 5 that just graduated this week, as they join the alumni, we now officially have 1,000 women from 53 countries in Africa, plus the diaspora. That means we need to find ways of deepening the communications and conversations that happen within the alumni. We also have to think about the women that came in cohort 1 in 2018. They still have challenges today. It's not like their challenges ended at the end of the program. In fact, I think in the wake of COVID, in the wake of war, in the wake of fragility, inflation, recession, there's even more challenges. So deepening impact for us is looking at how we can ensure that we are also supporting them as they've left the program. So that's the first one. The second one is scaling impact. So one of the challenges we've had as AWEC or as an organization is that we've only been able to take on 200 women every year. So far, in the 5 years, I would say we've had almost 10,000 women apply. And out of the 10,000, we've only taken 10%, which is 1,000. And what do we do with the 9,000 that have not been able to get into the program? We want to be able to impact them in some way. So we're changing the way we actually do our newsletter, for example. We're making sure that whenever we publish a newsletter, it's got a toolkit for anybody out there that's not part of AWEC that can also apply what the women are learning to their businesses. For the first time, AWEC published some of their toolkits in December. There's a program we actually launched called Get to Know Your Business, a 5-week challenge. And women can actually go, any woman entrepreneur across Africa and the diaspora can actually go onto our website and look for the challenge. It's 10 topics that are super important for your business, including revenue, profit, understanding your business model, time management, for example. There are different models that you can actually, it's self-paced. And whatever stage of business you are, you'll be able to identify where you are and be able to use the models to apply to your business now. So for us, scaling means we give access to the program. While you're not in the program, you get access to some of the tools and knowledge that the women have been able to access.
All right, Sharon, you just graduated last week. What's your vision for the future?
For me, it's to expand. My goal is to expand and know how to manage that expansion and implement the lessons I have learned from AWEC, as well as impact the continent. I think one of the things that I've been learning over the last 2 years, and AWEC being part of the learning process, is not to be small-minded and just to think Kenya, you know. So for me, I run a communications agency, or it can also be called a production house, and I want to see how I can scale that. How can I have colleagues in Rwanda and Uganda? If I need a shoot done in Uganda, I don't need to go there. I probably have creating those networks. So I think AWEC has taught me how networks actually work. And then having access to these women means I have a network. I can be like, hey, so-and-so, can you link me up with a production house? And then I can work there as well. So expansion is my goal from now.
Right, amazing. Do you intend to expand this initiative to men as well?
So I'm going to be brutally honest, no. So AWEC's sole focus is women, African women entrepreneurs. And the reason, it's not just because they're the most underserved demographic, but it's our core competence. We've been running the program for 5 years, going into our 6th year, and that's what we know. We know how to tailor what we do specifically to African women entrepreneurs. So men, apologies, but no.
All right, as we close now the show, any parting shot before we call it a wrap?
I think I just want to say, you know, if you're a woman, if you're an African woman and you're interested in business or you're running a business, I would encourage you to go to our website, www.weareawec.org. Check out the Get to Know Your Business Challenge. It will challenge you. It's 10 weeks, it's 10 modules. Try and see if you can apply some of the modules to your business.
All right, anything, Sharon?
I would say be bold and go for it. If you see an application that you may not think you qualify for, just go for it. As an African business leader myself, I had some doubts when I applied for this program, but when I did and I got in, I was like, oh, I can do it. So I think my thing is be bold and do it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ladies, for making time for us tonight. I have learned a little bit, so much about AWEC. I'm looking forward to joining you maybe sometime soon enough. All right, we are taking a very short break at this point. Stay with us. You're coming back with more.